you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow members and guests. I guess some of you might know today is a special day in India and there is a lot of celebration back there. Can anyone guess what it might be?
Independence Day.
There you go. Today is India's Independence Day. We are celebrating our 65th Independence Day, and India got its freedom in the midnight of August 15, 1947. So I want to take this opportunity to briefly explain the historical background of India and how we usually celebrate Independence Day. India is a rich country in the 16th and 17th centuries because of agricultural minerals and products. We used to have a lot of diamonds at that time, and you might not believe this, but in some places they used to sell pearls on the streets. That's how much pearls that we got and how many diamonds that we have at that time. So obviously Western nations, they wanted to do business with India, and after a lot of efforts, 3 countries were able to get into India: France, Dutch and British. So each of them have started their businesses and they started their own trades in India. The most powerful among them is the East India Company, which was started by British in Calcutta, which is one of the big cities in India. As time progressed, British got more power and influence, and by the end of the 19th century, most of the India is under British rule. India fought back first using violence, like in 1857 we have the Indian Rebellion, which we started for our freedom, but we didn't succeed, and then we had a lot of freedom fights after that, and then we moved on to non-violence as Mahatma Gandhi started preaching out that non-violence is the best tool to fight for the freedom. And under his leadership we have Salt Satyagraha and Quit India movements that were really big, and those happened like in 1942. So in the year 1946, the Labour government of British, which was already devastated by the recently concluded World War II, and they decided that they can't control anymore the forces that are inside India, so they decided to relinquish power to India no later than June 1948. But they had to leave early because of some internal struggle between Muslims and Hindus. So finally, at the stroke of midnight on August 15, 1947, our first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, he started giving the speech titled Tryst with Destiny, and he proclaimed India's independence. So how do we celebrate independence, such a historic event for all the Indians? Usually we'll have the cultural events, and flag raising are the main aspects of the moment, and in the night all the people will go out and they start flying kites. It's beautiful to see there because on the stars you can see kites flying, and it signifies, the kites signify that we have freedom now. Also, most of the schools and colleges, as you can guess, they are closed on Independence Day, but all the students will gather in the schools to rejoice the day, and we have some events that will happen every Independence Day. First, they'll start with giving pledges in 3 different languages. First, they'll give in English, which is our international language, and then in Hindi, which is our national language, and then in Telugu, which is our native language. That way all people can understand the pledge. And then after that, our principal will raise the flag and everyone will sing the national anthem. Following the national anthem, there will be cultural events where students play their favorite freedom fighter, and also there will be prize ceremony after that. That's how the celebration will be in the schools. But at homes, the people will start watching TV with our Prime Minister giving the speech about the progress that we made so far in the last 64 years. And after the Prime Minister's speech, there will be national anthem as usual. Following that, there will be cultural events and documentaries explaining how we got our freedom, and we usually pay respect by watching those events. In just 65 years, India achieved a lot. Even though most of the world is under recession, India still has 8% annual growth so far for the last 5 years. Albert Einstein once gave the famous quote about India. He said, we owe a lot to the Indians who taught us how to count, without which no worthwhile scientific discovery could have been made. Happy Independence Day. Thank you.